Hello, Aquarius. Welcome to Taurus season. This is your reading for April 19th through May 20th. My name is Renee. This is Embodied Astrology, and this reading is for all Aquarians. Everyone has Aquarius in their chart. Everyone has an 11th house. Everyone has the planets Saturn and Uranus in their chart, and all of these symbols relate with Aquarius. And if you're not sure where to begin, definitely tune in with horoscopes for your rising and your sun signs. But if you know your other planets, signs, placements, you can always listen through the lens of those placements. This is a general reading, so take what works, leave the rest. Okay, Aquarius, you and Taurus have some similarities. You are both signs that are considered to be fixed. That means that you come at the middle of the seasons in a seasonal schematic with 4 seasons per year. And it also means that you are both very powerful signs. And your signs represent the cumulative power of your element. Aquarius is air, Taurus is earth. Now, earth is dense. It is about gravity. It is about building and forming. And air, of course, moves around and it is not contained in solid form. It can be everywhere. And so the way that Aquarius and Taurus relate sometimes can be a little bit frustrating. Taurus as an energy wants things to feel real. It is an energy of practicality and materiality. Aquarius can be very abstract and theoretical. This is a sign that is known for being highly intelligent, and part of your intelligence is being able to kind of remove yourself from something, and that could be remove yourself emotionally or kind of be a little bit out of your body about something, see things from many different perspectives, etc. But when we are working with the combination of Taurian and Aquarian energy, we have to be innovative and experimental in grounded and practical ways. We have to be able to listen to our bodies and our sensate intelligences and be realistic about things while also being kind of detached and allowing ourselves to see things from many different perspectives and thinking outside of the box about them. And as you can probably imagine, sometimes it feels hard to do all of that at the same time. If we're very strongly identified with what we're feeling and experiencing in our bodies, it can be really hard to detach and see things from a different perspective. If we're really abstract and seeing things from multiple different perspectives, sometimes it can be hard to be practical. This is a season that is asking you to do both and really combine these kinds of energies and influences. This is emphasized by the presence of your modern planetary ruler. This is the outer planet Uranus in the sign of Taurus. Uranus has been here since 2018, and this is the last Taurus season that Uranus will be here. And so there's an important event coming up right at the end of Taurus season on May 17th when the sun will come together with Uranus for the last time since it arrived in the sign in 2018, the last time for like another 80 something years. So depending on how old you are, this could be a once in a lifetime kind of phase that is finishing. So I want to invite you to think back, reflect back to 2018 when Uranus entered Taurus. It moved into a part of your chart that is very much about your foundation, your stability, your home, and your family. This is also a part of the chart where we understand a lot about who you are really on a fundamental level because of where you've come from. So there's that saying, where you stand is directly related to where you sit, right? How we grow has everything to do with where we're planted. And since 2018, I think a lot of Aquarians have been digging up the soil, so to speak. And so, and maybe the world was digging the soil for you. So I think a lot of you may have experienced disruption and upheaval when it comes to your sense of stability, where you are living, how you are living. Ideas about family can be expansive and can include a lot of things. And so be generous with whatever meaning making you're doing. But when it comes to family and how you are experiencing family and what you want to experience, I think a lot of you may have had to go through some ups and downs. There could have been upheavals and disruptions. There could have also been big liberations and awakenings, and kind of like you listening to your inner call to move in a particular direction, and then feeling that that helped free something up and allowed for some new kinds of experiences. As we move into Taurus season in 2025, there is a feeling right now of you want to get grounded in something in some new and different way. And for some of you, this is literal. It means that, you are like thinking about place, you are thinking about land, you are actually working with home and homemaking and family building. For some of you, this is a very energetic and internal, and this is about really taking up your own space and feeling centered and anchored, and like you have your own foundation in some new and different way. You are in a chapter of your life that is just beginning, that is about realizing your personal power and power potential. And that means you have to be courageous. And courage does not exist without fear. So you realizing your power and power potential means that you have to turn towards what feels frightening. You have to take risks. You have to embrace challenge. How we build and how we fortify has everything to do with how we meet resistance. And this is an earth plane lesson, right? Like the earth gets more dense and fortified through gravity, through pressure. So there's something that's happening in your chart right now to me that feels like an immense amount of pressure. And the pressure that I feel is you needing to come into your own form in some way. Now, for a lot of us at various points in our lives, coming into our forms doesn't necessarily mean becoming stronger in our physical bodies. A lot of times, this is about becoming stronger in our spiritual bodies, in our energetic alignment. And so you coming into your form feels to me like you are becoming increasingly clear around who you are and who you are becoming, what you value. Your values are really important right now. It is absolutely necessary that you know what is important to you in a big picture kind of way. Not in a day-to-day transient kind of way, although yes, it's good to know what's important moment to moment, but in a really big picture kind of existential way. What are your values? And are you living in alignment with your own values? If you are not, then you are feeling unstable in some ways. What do we do when we feel unstable? Well, we get rigid, or we get completely blown apart and distracted. Now you want to be able to actually be resilient, and resilience is the ability to move and adapt and adjust and breathe, right? Like the evolutionary energy of life is resilient, and life is biodiverse. It is constantly changing. It is constantly adapting. When things become really stagnant and rigid, they don't flourish. When you are in alignment with your values, when you know what is deeply important to you, when you can feel and listen to your heart's truth, that is a really clear guide for you. And it allows you to be adaptive in your situations. It allows you to clearly discern moment to moment, day to day around your choices. So as we move into Taurus season, I think that a lot of you are really feeling this need to get more grounded and to fortify your foundation. And that could be literally or figuratively. But how are you going to do that? You're going to do that by really tuning in and listening to your inner truth, by being clear about what your values are, and by being willing to be courageous about it. And sometimes this means making choices that are kind of risky. Sometimes this means speaking up about something. And I think a lot of you are really kind of pushing the edge right now with your courage when it comes to communication. There are opportunities for you to do new things and, get new sense of foundation, strengthen and fortify yourself in different ways. But in order for you to do that, you have to be able to communicate and communicate well, communicate in ways that accurately transmit the energy of what you're trying to convey, even if you don't always have the perfect words. And sometimes this means that you're going to experience conflict. And moving into Taurus season, I think that there is a lot of dynamic energy moving through your chart and many opportunities for conflict, and also many opportunities for agreement. And attraction and aversion go hand in hand. Conflict is not bad. Sometimes conflict is really, really helpful. It helps us clarify what has been unclear. It can be cathartic and cleansing if things have become stagnant or built up or unspoken. It can remind us what our values are, and if it is engaged skillfully, conflict can actually help us come closer together. So when you hear me say conflict, don't freak out. It doesn't have to be bad at all. Okay, so I'm going to pause for a moment, and if any of this has been resonating for you so far, then this is a reading for you. Always take what works, leave the rest. I do want to continue and look at some of the timing for Taurus season. I want to offer a little bit of somatic practice that can help you navigate some of these energies. And before I do all that, I want to say, if you resonate with these readings, please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. It really helps the channel grow. Please like, comment, let me know what's resonating for you, and consider sharing these horoscopes with a friend. If there's a friend out there who you think maybe would be boosted a little bit with a horoscope, send one their way. And thank you so much for your support. Okay, Aquarius, let's get back to this reading. So this feeling of foundation building is about you coming into deeper alignment with yourself. There are a lot of themes coming up for you right now that have to do with your honesty and your capacity to communicate and kind of like know what you feel and be able to share that with others. This needs you to be embodied, not detached and abstract. It's great that you can see other people's points of view. It's also necessary that you understand where you're coming from and can be responsible and accountable to your own energy, like what you're putting into any kind of engagement or communication or relationship that you're navigating. And I think that there's some tension here. And as we move into Taurus season, the first 10, 11, 12 days of Taurus season feel tense for Aquarius. We are moving towards the new moon on April 27th. We are moving out of a Mercury retrograde shadow and a Mars retrograde shadow. Mars is transiting your opposite sign, Leo, and opposing the outer planet Pluto in your sign. This opposition has been a dynamic transit happening since last November. And if you think back to November of 2024, and particularly consider your relationship dynamics, as well as how you feel yourself in relationship to your own power and the ways you're putting yourself out into the world, I think a lot of you will reflect on some kind of circumstances where you have been faced with difficulty and conflict. There has actually been reason for you to feel activated with other people. And activation can, again, be about an argument, but sometimes it's also about an attraction. Sometimes it's like we want to move together in some kind of way, and we need to figure out how to move together. And in order to figure that out, we may need to rise to the occasion, right? We may need to communicate honestly about something we've never spoken before. We might need to really tune in and reflect on our needs, our values, our desires. We might need to be accountable to our communication and how we are engaging with other people. Other people will be people. Who said that hell is other people, right? So other people are having their own experience and they can be totally activating. And we might see opponents in collaborators, or we might see reason to feel opposed and polarized when we are experiencing disagreement or perceiving difference. And if you reflect back to November of 2024 and think about what has transpired in the last, 4 to 5 months now, what has been growing for you in terms of your own consciousness around your power and the need for you to integrate around your own power, particularly when it comes to your values and your communication. Moving into Taurus season, there is this kind of like breakup energy that I've been feeling very strongly since November of last year. And the breakup energy is also the new relationship energy. When we move away from something, we are moving towards something else. We might not know what we're moving towards, but if we divest our energy from where we don't want it to be, then we are opening space for something else to be there. Hopefully that we want more. For Aquarians, I think that a lot of you really need to pull back investment of your time, energy, money, attention, and any kinds of material resources. You need to pull back investment from what doesn't actually really inspire and excite you. So if you have been staying the course with something because it's the smart, logical thing to do, but you're not really excited about it, you don't feel growth potential, you don't feel inspired, it doesn't give you life, what are you doing? Why are you investing there? It's not going to grow into something that will like suddenly become exciting down the line. This does require discernment, because anywhere that you want to see growth happen, there will be times where it's not always exciting. And sometimes it's laborious and, not particularly inspiring. But you are the one that has the discernment around the big picture kind of feeling or theme. You know, if you are putting your energy into something that you deeply believe in, if it's boring for a little bit and it feels like, oh my gosh, it's just constant work, but if you really check in with your heart and with your spirit about it and you feel like, yes, this is what I really believe in, that's fine. Energy fluctuates. Sometimes things aren't that interesting. If you have been putting your time, energy, money, attention, and resources into things that just continue to feel deadening or boring or restrictive, or you fucking hate them and you don't want to do it anymore, you have to shift. Some of you have already made these shifts. Applause, applause. Some of you in the last couple of months have been doing this divestment. I want to say on a big collective global level, we, as in we of humanity, need to do this. We need to pull our energy, our resources, our money, our economic investment, our time and attention out of what does not serve us. So some of you might be really aligning with this right now. And I will say that this is a powerful moment for Aquarians, especially to work with economic discernment. If you have your money in big banks that support fossil fuels and weapons manufacturing, and you feel concerned about the environment and you don't want endless war, pull your money out of the big banks. Put it in some credit unions. If you are invested in portfolio funds that are funding all that bullshit, maybe take a loss. Say goodbye to your stock market investment and turn around, take that money and put it somewhere else. Put it into something that you actually believe in. This is a time to make radical choices for our lives and for the world. Take what works, leave the rest. For me, when I look at the astrology of 2025 into 2026, I see a narrow passageway. I see a period of time when new configurations are happening on a collective level, and that means that individuals are making the small connections, and we are shifting into some kind of new world. Global powers are shifting, economies are shifting, environments are shifting, social landscapes are shifting. It's not only happening to us, we are part of creating it. Take up your creative power. Put your resources into what you want to see growing. Your number one resource is your energy and attention, your presence, your participation. Your money, your material resources. Invest in what you care about. I mean that literally and metaphorically. All the retrograde energies of the last couple of months, and as we move into Taurus season for Aquarius, have been transiting the part of your chart that has to do with your money and your resources. That's why I'm being so intense about it. It's intense, Aquarians. This is your energy. This is your resource. This is your life. Plant the garden that you want to grow. If you don't like tomatoes, don't plant tomatoes, right? If you love cucumbers, plant cucumbers. You know what's delicious to you. You know what gives you joy. Put that energy in the right place. The first week and a half of Taurus season is this kind of vibe. This is the vibe of the first week and a half. You know what you know. You know what you like. You know what you don't like. You're feeling decisive at this time, and you need to divest from what you don't want to be invested in so that you can invest and reinvest your energy, time, attention, money in what you want to see grow. For some of you, this means you have to figure it out with partners. For some of you, you are in some kind of active, dynamic growth process with partners. This could feel like an argument. This could be passionate exchange. This could be creative collaboration. Don't be scared about it. Be real about it. I want to offer to you that you can work with your body. And especially because we're in Taurus season, you can work with the landscape of your body that Taurus governs. Taurus rules your jaw, your tongue, the structural mechanisms that create your voice. And this is a gate. This is a place of power. So when you speak something into the world, you make it real. Just like when you eat and drink, you create your own body. Taurus is the earthiest of all the earth signs. It is about manifestation. It is about creation of reality. We are being created all the time, and we are creators all the time. This is a place in our body where many of us grip and experience a lot of tension. Aquarius, as an energetic principle, is related with connective tissues. When our jaws get gripped, the back part of our skull also gets gripped. The back part of the skull is where your reptilian primordial instincts and impulses originate. When your jaw is gripped and the back part of your skull is gripped, your connective tissues get real gripped and you go into survival mode. You are not seeing the opportunities around you. You are not in a place of flow and reciprocity and relationality. Especially in the first week and a half of Taurus season, my Aquarian friends, and especially when it comes to communications, and especially if communications feel intense, Relax. Relax your jaw, take some deep breaths, breathe into your belly, wiggle your body a little bit. Come back to your senses. I mean that literally. Notice what you notice in the sensations of your skin. Notice what you can smell. Notice the colors and the details of the space around you. Try and tune in with your inner body sensations. If you're really getting hot in some kind of heated exchange, especially if it feels like there are big decisions that are trying to be made, come back to your senses about it. Be sensible. Be in your sensations. Don't be gripped, especially in this gate of manifestation and creation. When we're really gripped around the jaw and the throat, we're often swallowing our own words. If we suppress our own truth for long enough, then what does come out is often not at all the truth. What comes out can be really harmful. So we want to get in the practice of tuning in with our bodies and really communicating from spaces of deep internal alignment. Now, your communication is key. And as we move into the month of May, a lot of you are really feeling some new energies around communication. Before you're communicating with other people, my Aquarian friends, you are communicating with your highest self. You're communicating with your internal parts. How many are there? I don't know. 1,000 million of them. They're all part of the same thing. You are communicating with all kinds of ideas, and potentially you are also communicating with spirit. The outer planet Neptune has just entered the sign Aries. Aries rules your third house of communication in the Aquarius solar charts. This is a powerful time for you to be communicating from spaces that are deeply spiritually aligned. This is an important time for you to be discerning around your communications because Neptunian energy can also be kind of delusional. How do we know? How do we discern the difference between what is real and what is illusion or what is fantasy? Let's get into our bodies about it. Let's take some time with it. Let's move and feel how our movements coordinate and organize inside of us. You can move inside your imagination. You can allow your imagination to play out decisions before you make them. You can feel inside your body if you are in actual agreement with those decisions. Some of you are really making some important decisions or having some kind of important conversations right now. Some of you are really trying to shift things in your life or in the world. Some of you are looking for the support that you need. And I want to tell you that all of those efforts will only be strengthened by you connecting with what is bigger than you. And what I mean is you are connected and interconnected with the world around you. And who you are here and how you are has impact in the world around you. If you can tune in with your own energy, and if you can really locate, activate, and orient yourself from a place where you are really intending your energy to have a beneficial impact in the world around you and your relationships, in the environment, etc., that can help you discern around reality. Sometimes we're totally in our fantasies about what might be best for us or for other people, but we're not really connected with our heart's truth in that, and we're not connected with our sensing, feeling bodies, and we're not connected with our subtle spiritual awareness. All of those want to be online for you right now. So as we move into the month of May, I'm going to say that communications are really important for you. And a lot of you are communicating and you're aware that your communications have a lot of power and that you are communicating in ways that are not always straightforward. So you might be communicating with words, but your energy actually has a bigger impact than your words. Not just in May, not just in 2025, but for the foreseeable future. Neptune will be in Aries until 2038. It would probably be a really helpful practice for you to do some kind of energetic body meditation every single day. And to pray to your highest self, your greatest intelligence, your guides, guardians, whomever, but ask for support from a greater source of intelligence. That could be your heart, to help you communicate and express yourself in ways that will really serve the greatest benefit for all. And that includes how you listen and intake information, as well as how you express and articulate information through your words, as well as through your actions. This also includes your thoughts and your mind. You might pray that the ways that you are perceiving and taking information in can really be in service to what you want to create in the world. We are living in a time of profound upheaval and a lot of creative possibility. And you have a lot of creative power. And as we move into the middle of the year in 2025, your creative power is increasing. You are getting increasingly courageous, radical, innovative, and experimental. And I feel that a lot of you have so much to offer because you are accessing your power in new and different ways. You are learning to communicate in new and different ways, and you are collaborating then in new and different ways. I talked a ton about this in your 2025 year ahead reading. So if you want more information on that, definitely check it out. The last thing I'm going to say is that as we move towards the end of Taurus season, Venus is coming out of its retrograde shadow, and we are getting the last solar conjunction to Uranus that we'll have for 80 years or so. A lot of you are trying to fortify your foundation right now. Some of you are trying to move. Some of you are shifting your landscapes, metaphor or practical. I don't know what it is for you. By the middle of May, your choices are becoming clear. Some of you want to make choices that feel a little bit weird and far out. Some of you are ready to make some big moves and they feel kind of radical and different. And I want to say, have fun with it. If you know in your body and your inner truth that this is the thing that you want, even if it feels scary, remember that courage only arises when fear is present. If you can feel in your inner truth that that is the direction that you want to go, now is the time to say yes to it. Divest from what you know that you don't want to invest in so that you can shift your energy in the ways that you do want to cultivate and grow. Now is the time. A lot of Taurus season is you being in a process of clarifying your own knowing. But by middle of May, if you feel clear, Aquarius, do it. If you want support for listening to your body and being with your sensate intelligences, join me on Mondays from 8 to 9:30 a.m. Pacific time on Zoom, or get the recording if you can't attend live. I teach a weekly class called Somatic Space, where we tune in every week with the astrology of the week ahead through movement, meditation, visualization. It is kind of weird, and we have a great time and would love to be with you if that sounds like your kind of thing. Embodied Astrology offers community spaces, study groups, and support spaces for working with astrology and application and synthesis to all kinds of space. So if you've been interested in astrology and you want to learn it in a low pressure, embodied, experiential kind of way, we've got you. We also have ongoing events, classes, and workshops like our April 27th New Moon event with Care, who is a somatic therapist and liberation worker. They have a project called the Erotics of Liberation. They're going to be joining us to talk about abolition practices, relationship practices, accountability practices, and astrology. I think a lot of you might really enjoy that and get a lot out of it. You can find more information in the show notes and at embodiedastrology.com. Please like, share, and subscribe. Aquarius, I'm wishing you all the best in Taurus season and beyond. Bye for now.